Go ahead.
Ben Barker, CardinalSports.com. Coach, just talk about that first quarter. You guys got off 20. What was kind of the main issue there? Was a lot of it just a function of, I mean, I know a lot of pieces out for defense. Was that just guys not settling in early enough, or just thoughts?
Yeah, we got some young guys in the secondary, and they attacked them immediately, and we got in a hole, 21-0. Good thing is I think those guys settled in. Unfortunately, the 21 point deficit was a tough start. So tough for young guys playing in the secondary, so especially against a team like that, and they kind of attacked them right away. They had a good plan and put us in an early deficit.
Jason Burke from Stanford on SI. Basically, what was the decision to go to Brown there? Down?
Yeah, you know, we were down 21-0, wanted to spark, and he was ready to go, and I wanted to see what he could do in an extended time, and that was the decision for Elijah coming in.
Yeah, Cal Stamp at Stanford Daily. Coach, just on Elijah Brown's game, what would you say were maybe the strengths and the weaknesses you saw in today's game?
Very tough. I mean, he hung in there, and he took some hits, and he continued to go through his progression, and for the most part made good decisions. And he had a couple drops that I thought were really good throws. The fourth down one was a big-time throw. Just his mental toughness and consistency and hanging in there. It's not easy to do as a true freshman to come in there under that scenario. I was proud of how he hung in there, and obviously he can play better. He will, but I was proud of how he competed.
Harold Gutman with the Mercury News. Is Elijah Brown the starter going forward?
We'll see. You know, we'll evaluate the tape and haven't made a decision on that.
Grand Avalon Channel Tree. What did you see from Elijah Brown at practice this week, and what kind of prep did he get in? Did he get many first-team reps?
Yeah, he got some reps for sure. Not a lot. You know, we kind of brought him along, and he's had a lot of reps through fall camp, and he had a few this week. He knows the system well. He felt comfortable, and that's where we went.
Yeah, Coach. You know, obviously that first play from scrimmage, that 87-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Do you think that sort of affected the team mentally in any way?
I mean, you know, I think it's a tough way to start for sure. You know, for a young guy, for Cam, and I think for just in general. But I thought our guys continued to compete. But you know, down 21-0 pretty quickly. Our guys continue to battle, but it's a tough deficit to roll out. Especially we weren't able to run the football. That was something that we were going to need to do to beat this team, keep their offense off the field, and they did a great job stopping our run. Outside of like 2 or 3 runs, there really wasn't a lot there. They made us one-dimensional. It was just too much for us to overcome.
Obviously, you get down 21 early, and then you make the switch to Brown there. But from that point on, it was 19-10 against a ranked opponent. What's the message to the team after?
Yeah, you know, my message to them was, I mean, they're down, obviously, and I hurt for them. I loved how they continued to compete, and, you know, we're not satisfied with the outcome in any way. But I thought all the way down to the goal line stand they were trying to make, our guys just continued to battle. So my message to them was proud of how hard they competed. We're not happy. We got to improve, starting with me in every area. We have an opportunity for another shot next week, so they can feel bad for 24 hours. But we had a tough stretch of really good opponents last few weeks. And now we got an opportunity to play another home game against Wake Forest, and we'll lick our wounds and we'll be ready to roll.
Just kind of how would you evaluate Emmett Mosley's performance? Obviously, a couple drops, but was targeted a lot. Just how would you kind of evaluate his outing?
Mosley?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we'll have to see the whole tape. It's but he had some. He knows he can play better. But he's a talented guy. He's a tough kid. He had some really good blocks, and he made some nice catches. Obviously, he had I think 1 drop, which I know he's beating himself up over. But he's a really talented kid. That is a tough kid. I'm really excited about him.
You had a young secondary tonight. How would you evaluate their play?
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough night, you know, right from the start. Obviously, giving up the big plays. It's tough, man. You're under fire. You know, you're a young guy and you're under fire, and they're attacking you with really talented guys and a talented quarterback. But I do think that they hung in there and started to play a little bit better, you know, as the game went on. We just weren't able to sustain anything on offense. So unfortunately, they were on the field a lot. But outside the first quarter, I thought our young secondary hung in there, got some experience. And hopefully we'll get some guys back. We got a lot of guys out. So hopefully we'll get a number of guys back on especially the defensive side of the ball and maybe on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, Coach, you kind of alluded to it, but just maybe tough overall night for the offensive line. What would you maybe attribute some of the miscues that they've had to?
Yeah, I mean, just not physical enough up front in terms of getting movement in the run game. We really tried to establish it, and they beat us up front. And just weren't. Once you become one-dimensional against a fast team like that, it becomes really hard on everybody, quarterback included. So they just beat us physically. Hats off to them. They're a really good football team.
This is a fourth straight game that wasn't close in the fourth quarter. At what point do you start worrying about this team's ability to bounce back from something like that?
Yeah, I think a lot about our our mental stability and all that. These guys are really, really tough kids. I mean, I'll say that. It's tough. It's painful for everybody to lose, and when it, like you said, when it's not close at the end. So you're always concerned about it. But I'll say this is the most resourceful young men that I've ever been around. I mean, they just continue to battle. The mental toughness is incredible. So I know they'll continue to compete, and we'll bounce back from it for sure.
Just talk about what you got out of Aiden Flintoff tonight. Looks like he was punting overall pretty well tonight. Plus, you guys also forced a couple fumbles as well. Just kind of what kind of was that? Just kind of lucky, or what kind of happened there?
No, I don't think turnovers are lucky. I mean, there can be, but typically it's when you're running the football, you're being aggressive. If you're getting interceptions, you're pressuring the quarterback. So I don't think they're lucky outside of a few exceptions. Turnovers were great. We need a lot of those to have short fields, and unfortunately we didn't necessarily take advantage of them, but I'm proud of our guys hustling around and creating turnovers.
Looked like once Brown came into the game, Roush had started getting involved a little bit more in the offense. Was that by design to give him? No,
it wasn't. I mean, we were just kind of calling our offense, or I was calling our offense, and Elijah does a really good job of going through his progression and finding open receivers. A couple of times no one was open when he took a sack, but I thought he did. Obviously you got to see the film, but Sam did some good things in the pass game for sure.
Yeah, Coach, I think maybe when he first came in, I think Elijah floated some balls, just maybe a few balls. Do you think that maybe the injury is still bothering him a little bit, even though he's had time to recover?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, he I think he felt pretty good, and I think he settled in a little bit. I mean, I think once you start playing, you get a rhythm. I mean, that's a pretty big stage for a kid, even a guy like Elijah who's played a lot of big-time games. I thought he'd really start to settle in and play better, and I think he'll continue to feel more comfortable. We got to run the football to help out our quarterbacks. That's one thing, so they can't tee off on you. Okay, thank you. Go Cardinals.
We'll continue with Mitch Lieber. We'll take questions the same way we did for Coach Taylor.
Hey, Mitch, Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Just talk about that. The first quarter was particularly rough for you guys as a secondary. Just kind of what happened there, and what could you guys have done differently to keep it a game in that first quarter?
Yeah, I think we just gave up too many big plays, too many explosives. That's something you always emphasize as a defense, limit the explosives. Like I said, we gave up too many. We settled down in the second half, but, we got to put it together for 4 quarters.
Yeah, Mitch, obviously a couple freshmen playing big minutes, and Cam Richardson and Brandon Nicholson. What's sort of your advice to them before they play on a big stage against a ranked team like this?
Yeah, no doubt. Just got to play with confidence. We see those guys at practice. We have all the trust in the world in them to go out and perform. They're competitors. They come out every day and compete. They work hard. So just trust in their preparation. Go out there, play fast, and the plays will come.
You go up against Elijah Brown in practice. What did you see from this week, and then what did you see from him out there tonight?
Yeah, he's a great player. We saw flashes out there tonight. We just got to keep building as a program, stick together. At the end of the day, we're a brotherhood. So we just got to stick together, keep building as a program. We got a lot of really good players. Like I said, just keep building, keep our heads up, and move on to the next game.
Yeah, just what is coach? Obviously, the results aren't what you guys want them to be, but what is kind of Coach Taylor done well to manage you guys through this stretch in terms of mentally? Just how has he kind of approached things for you guys as a head coach mentally to keep you guys from getting too bogged down by these results?
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, we just got to stick together. At the end of the day, where it's a brotherhood. Like I said, we've had a few tough losses. We've played some really good teams. Just got to stick together. All we can do is go back to work next week, prepare for whoever our next opponent is, and just keep building and improving each and every day.
Yeah, Mitch. I asked Coach this, but it comes 7-0 right out the gate with that first play from scrimmage, and then it sort of spirals into 21-0. How do you sort of keep your mental composure within that? And, just sort of stay calm even after the game isn't going necessarily the way you want to.
Yeah, obviously, that's not how you want to start a football game, giving up some big plays like that. You just got to, rally together as a defense, put it in the past, and, just trust the defense, trust the calls that we're getting, and, the rest will handle itself. So.
You've had a stretch of playing against ranked teams. The rest of the schedule, there's no ranked teams left on the schedule. Do you guys see that kind of as an opportunity going forward?
We look at every opponent the same. We always preach every week's like a one game season. So looking at it in that aspect, just going to practice every day and going out and competing, no matter who the opponent is. We're gonna play our brand of football, play fast, physical, play hard, and just go hard every play, no matter who the opponent is.